Juggling family life is tough enough as is, but then throw a kid's medical needs into the mix, and things can go from complicated to downright chaotic fast.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with treatments and appointments and battling with insurance companies and all the rest of it.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot to handle.
But what if I told you there's a way to turn that chaos into, well, not exactly calm, but at least a sense of, shared purpose?
Shared purpose and even maybe some pride in how your family's tackling these challenges together.
Exactly. We can turn this around.
Yeah. That's what we're going to dive into today.
Yeah.
We're going to look at some real-life tips and strategies that can help families facing similar situations.
Absolutely. And speaking of real-life tips, one of the sources we've been digging into uses this really striking analogy. It talks about a fire extinguisher for money stress.
Oh, I like that.
Right? Because let's be real, money stress is often a huge part of this whole equation, right?
Big time.
And so the idea is if money stress is the emergency, which it often feels like, then we need to treat it like one.
Respond quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Grab that fire extinguisher and take action.
Right, because that feeling of financial strain can be so isolating.
So isolating.
But if we look at it as a shared challenge, something the whole family can tackle together,
Yeah,
that changes things, right?
it totally does.
It becomes a we're in this together kind of thing instead of you shouldering it all alone.
Absolutely. And the source even suggests some concrete steps families can take, like crowdfunding, for instance.
Crowdfunding.
I know.
Okay, I know. Hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
It can feel a little awkward or even embarrassing, but
I get it.
think about it this way. It's not just about asking for money.
It's about asking your community to kind of join your team,
Exactly.
to help you fight this battle.
It's like inviting them to be part of your child's care team.
I love that. And, the source actually gives this really powerful example. It says, and I'm quoting here, Isaac's NG Tube Care plus your lost income equals a $20,000+ hole. Families should set up a donation drive for you.
Wow.
No shame. This is AR.
Whoa. Strong words.
Strong words. And by the way, for anyone who might not know, NG tubes are those small, flexible tubes that are used to deliver nutrition directly to the stomach. So you can see how, if a child needs specialized care like that, the costs can really add up.
For sure. And I think that war metaphor, while maybe a little intense, does highlight the need for a strategic approach.
Oh, totally.
Which brings us to another gem from this source. Fight insurance with paperwork cannons.
Ooh, I love that. Paperwork cannons.
Right.
Because it can feel like that, says Han.
It's a battle.
It is.
And the point is, you don't have to just passively accept those insurance denials.
Right. Don't take it lying down.
Exactly.
Fight back.
Become an informed advocate for your child.
So instead of letting the appeals process completely overwhelm us, we're going to assemble our paperwork cannons. We're gathering all the doctor's notes and researching the appeal guidelines and maybe even reaching out to some patient advocacy groups.
That's it.
And here's where I think the whole family cooperation piece really comes in, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just on one person's shoulders.
The source actually suggests getting family members involved with specific tasks.
Ooh, I love that. Divvy up the work.
Delegate, delegate, delegate. So maybe one person is the master of making copies.
Yeah.
Another is a research whiz, digging up deadlines and procedures. And hey, maybe there's even a wordsmith in the family who can craft those compelling appeal letters.
I love that. Because it really does turn into a collective effort.
Yeah.
A shared mission to get your kid the best possible care.
It's teamwork.
It is. And you know what? That shared mission, it doesn't have to stop at paperwork battles.
Oh, totally. It can go way beyond that.
It can, because another section of this source material focuses on tube feeding help.
Okay.
And the whole idea here is to empower different family members to assist with things like NG tube reinsertion, which, let's be honest, could be kind of a tricky and sometimes even a little stressful task.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, the source takes this no excuses approach to learning.
I love that.
Everyone can learn how to do this, even if it seems intimidating at first.
Watch some YouTube tutorials together,
Yeah. Family YouTube night.
Practice on a doll, ask your nurse for guidance.
It's about building confidence.
Yes, confidence and confidence, not just for the primary caregiver, but for the entire family unit.
Exactly.
Everyone's on board.
And it's so cool how something that initially might seem like, oh, this is going to be a burden, having to learn this new medical skill can actually become this source of connection.
Right, and a shared sense of accomplishment.
Totally. And speaking of shared responsibility, I absolutely love this next idea.
Okay, lay it on me.
It's the meal train, but make it liquid.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
Taking a classic idea and adapting it.
It's so smart because it takes that traditional concept of like providing meals for families in need,
Yes.
the classic meal train, and it just tweaks it to fit the specific needs of tube feeding.
Makes perfect
It
sense.
does. So instead of dropping off like casseroles and cookies,
Right.
family members can bring things like pre-blended purees,
Yeah.
pre-mixed formula bags, stuff that actually, directly lightens the caregiver's workload and addresses the child's dietary needs.
Provides that tangible support that can make such a big difference in day-to-day
A
life.
huge difference. Now, this next section, I'll be honest, it might feel a little awkward,
Okay.
but I think it's so valuable.
I'm intrigued.
It's called the emotional Band-Aid.
Okay.
And the source just puts it out there bluntly. It says, tell your family to skip the flowers and pay a bill instead.
Whoa, straight to the point.
I know, right?
No sugarcoating there.
But you know
I
what?
kind of appreciate the honesty
I do too.
because it really gets to the heart of what truly helpful support looks like.
Absolutely.
It's about like moving beyond those well-intentioned but maybe not so practical gestures.
Yeah, the symbolic stuff.
Symbolic stuff.
And focusing on like what concrete actions can actually make a difference.
Actions that genuinely alleviate that stress.
It's like saying, hey, I love the thought, but what I really need right now is...
Yeah, a little help with this very specific thing.
Exactly. And sometimes asking for what we truly need, even if it feels a little uncomfortable, is the most loving thing we can do for ourselves and our families.
I think you're so right.
So where does all this leave us? Well, we've seen how even small changes, like reframing how we think about financial stress,
Yeah,
dividing up tasks,
right.
learning new skills together as a family,
It all adds up.
all of this can really shift the dynamic from chaos to cooperation, from like shame to this sense of shared pride,
You become a team.
a team. And you know what? It's like you're the superhero.
Oh, I like that.
You're the one, leading the charge, but even superheroes need a team.
Even superheroes need backup.
They do.
They need their sidekicks, their support crew, their league of extraordinary family members.
So think about it. Who are your teammates?
Yeah, who are those people you can rely on?
Who are those people you can call on when you need that extra boost?
And what are their unique superpowers? What are they really good at that can help you tackle these challenges?
Because you're not alone in this journey.
Not at all. You've got this.
You do. And here's a little something to think about. What's one small positive change you can make today?
Yeah, one little step.
One tiny step. Maybe it's asking for help with one specific task. Maybe it's watching that tune feeding tutorial together as a family. Or maybe it's having that honest conversation about your family's financial needs.
It could be anything,
Whatever it is, just remember, it might feel small.
but it's a start.
It is.
It's a step in the right direction.
And it could be the beginning of a truly amazing transformation for your family.
Absolutely.
So go out there and make that change. You've got this.
We believe in you. Appreciate